What is up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, jumping into another ADA video. This is ADA on the charts. ADA making all the moves lately, isn't it? 50+% to the upside in a matter of days. This move, visually, it does something, right? Visually, it says something to me in terms of everything that we've been talking about on these charts, the zoomed out charts. When I'm looking at this zoomed in 6 hour, visually, I see this, and I'm like, okay, wait a second. ADA is really going to confirm something for us one way or the other. And this is what I mean. Notice how it's green. We're in this green box, and this is the hard fork event. I've charted this on these zoomed out charts. It's like a 65-day window leading into a hard fork on Cardano. So this is the Vaso hard fork. Now, the reason I track it is because it's been interesting. ADA has pumped going into each and every one of these hard forks. So when I visually see this move, and this is on a 6 hour, first off, it's one of the most powerful moves ADA has seen, the most powerful, aggressive, quick moves ADA has seen to the upside in this entire downtrend. But the reason why I want to talk about it and zoom in on it and then zoom out on it is because this move is very reminiscent of previous hard fork, green box moves. And this is what I'm talking about. This explosive, just parabolic in the short term move, even with these red pullbacks, and they happen in these green boxes. So right here was the parabolic run going into Alonzo hard fork all the way back here, and I'm on a 6 hour chart. I'm kind of trying to cruise through this on a 6 hour chart. Here's the Mary hard fork, and just look at this explosive moves for ADA to the upside, and actually this 65-day window begins. Let's see, I guess back here, December, towards the end of December, and you can just see the move. I don't have the box down here, but the moves begin here. Look at this. It's very reminiscent of what's happening on the charts. And then we can go back one more, and we can see Shelly hard fork. Boom, explosive move. And so going all the way back now to where Cardano is right now, where ADA is right now, it's very reminiscent, right? So the reason why it's such an interesting test is this. Now, if I zoom all the way out on the 6 hour, every time ADA has kind of made these moves in these going into these hard fork events, ADA has been in an uptrend. And it's very evident if you go over here to, let's go to a daily chart, zoom out on a daily, a little bit easier to see this. But ADA just seeing higher highs and higher lows above all of these moving averages that you see on the screen, the red, the blue, the green. And so uptrend, it's already an uptrend. It's in a bull market. It's in a bull market. It's in a bull market going into a bull market high. Every time it happened, it was in a bull market. So now it's happening, and this is the fourth time that this is the fourth data point that we're able to view, and we're viewing it in real time now. It's kind of like, well, ADA is in a downtrend. ADA is in a bear market. And I've been so interested to see how ADA operates within this entire hard fork 65-day window, this piece of data that I just decided to start charting to really just track not only price, but also the technical fundamental milestones that Cardano is hitting, because they're extremely important to just the blockchain itself, the protocol itself, but they're really important to the long-term growth and trajectory of ADA price as well, the value of Cardano. These things need to work. These things need to play out. And these upgrades really need to have an effect in a positive way on the protocol, and they have. And so this Vaso hard fork, I think, is going to do the same thing, but I digress from that. We're in that downtrend, right? So here's what I'm watching now. So we are in a downtrend, and you can just see the move is very similar to what we've seen. Let's start on the weekly to try and break this down. So we're in that green box. On the weekly chart, if we're checking this out, it's very important to note what's happening. ADA is hitting this trend line down here on the RSI, the slower moving momentum oscillator. And this is a trend line where we've seen ADA bottom before. Here's COVID swing low, and here's the 2018 bear market low. And we are in this green box, right? And it's pretty close. It's like less than 30 days away. But I want to just put some caution out there because we don't have this uptrend. And so there's a couple things that could happen right now. We might not get such a powerful move that we've seen in Shelly the Mary and the Alonzo hard forks. However, the Vassal hard fork could really act as a foundational launchpad for ADA to form its bottom. And what I mean by that is if we go back into the 2018 bear market low, the charts are looking very similar. So put aside the hard fork green box that we've been tracking. ADA charts looking very similar. So what I mean by that is this. Here's the bottom. We already just saw on the RSI, similar area, similar bottoming out area on the momentum oscillator, on the slower moving momentum oscillator. But we have this green candle just turning things around, but still so much to work up against, right? The 20-week moving average, the 50-week moving average, ADA still had to test those areas. And so here we are again, the 20-week moving average, the 50-week moving average, and now the 200-week moving average is a data point that we have on the screen where we want to start seeing ADA start closing above because it's already tested it in a bottom formation range. Now going to the daily chart, here's where things kind of get interesting. Check it out. Nice parabolic move for ADA, the 2018 bear market low. Look at this. And it's a strong move. If we go and we get our price range, this is where the similarities start to come in as well. From the swing low to swing high, we're looking at, to the 50-day moving average, 70+% gains. Now, if we go over to the current daily chart, here we are. So we can chart this one of two ways. We can say from this very short-term bottom to where it is right now, 50+% to the upside and to the 50-day moving average, which is what we just looked at on those charts in 2018. Or we could take it from this back here, this actual swing low in May, and we're looking at 80% or so to the 50-day moving average. That's that blue line right there. Let me get rid of this green box so we can see there's that blue line. Now, going back to 2018 on the daily chart, what happened there? There was some consolidation. ADA cooled off. It revisited to the downside the 20-day moving average. So there's that swing high, the 50-day resistance, and then a 25% dip for ADA to the 20-day moving average. This is where we want to utilize some caution because here's the 20-day moving average down here around 52 cents for ADA from its swing high to revisit that area, 20 to 25% to the downside. But my point is this, when we're watching what happened back then, it really was a bottoming out type of scenario, but there was volatile. The whole thing was volatile, and there was compression in these moving averages. You can see them just kind of compressing before getting finally that move out of the bear market. Now, obviously, it did see another swing low, even more drastic one. There's COVID, but the thing that we're really paying attention to is the bottoming out range, because on the daily chart right now, that is what is happening. ADA potentially bottoming out in this short to mid-term, but we have to expect some volatility along the way. At the end of the day, everybody, ADA has made the move that we've really been waiting for, right? We're waiting for ADA to get through, number one, the 20-day moving average in green, and then number two, the 50-day moving average in blue, and we're waiting for it to start putting in higher highs and higher lows. So ADA has space to the downside. ADA has room for a nice dip if it's going to. We can get a sense of what that might look like on the 6-hour chart. If ADA is going to just consolidate very short before continuing to the upside, that would be very reminiscent of a bull market move, right, that we saw in these green boxes. However, it has room to this general vicinity down here, this 52-cent area, if it's going to continue consolidating to put in a higher low. And what that could look like, if we take our Fibonacci on the short-term chart, swing low to swing high, you can see ADA could revisit right down here in the 50-cent range on the 6-hour chart, putting in a higher low. This is a support area that we want to look out for, 618, right around 53, 54 cents, 786, around 49 cents. On the daily chart, if we go back to the daily chart, what is that? That is right around the 20-day moving average being tested. So let's leave room for that to happen. On the short term, as I do this video, we're getting in 7 minutes a new daily candle that's going to open. It will be interesting to see if it kind of turns red and we just do trickle down, right? Anticipate what happens here and let's see what happens there. It's a very crucial area for ADA, and it's a very similar one that happened in 2018 when it hit the 50-day moving average, came down to the 20-day. We want to see a test like that, and we want to see bullish confirmation of support for ADA in that area. On this 6-hour chart, to the upside, here's what we're watching. If there's continuation for ADA, and actually real quick on the daily chart, we want to see the 50-day moving average right around 71 cents. So if there's upside tonight for ADA, and we're going here on the 6-hour, and it just, for whatever reason, all it needed was this little consolidation, and then boom, we're off to the races. Here's on the 6-hour chart where the 50-day moving average is, and then maybe more importantly, this 80-cent range for ADA is just above. It's kind of, considering how ADA has been moving, it's not that far away from where it is right now. If we're looking at ADA, 80 cents is 25 to 30% to the upside. The reason it's important is because of this. Check this out. ADA on these charts, I'd be very surprised if we don't get a pullback or a revisit to the 80-cent range, and then maybe confluent with that 80-cent range would be the 20-week moving average, currently around 90 cents. But that 80, so that was the other day. That was, what was that? That was May 26th. The reason I brought that up is because on this weekly chart, if ADA is in this kind of even a mid to short-term uptrend, what we'd see for ADA would be this visit in this general vicinity. There's a 20-week moving average now down around 88 cents since I did that video. And here's the 80-cent range, right? So we could see ADA making a move, kind of what it did back here in March to the 20-week moving average. It's a huge macro test, a bullish confirmation area for ADA. I'm not saying it would happen tonight or even this week. This could take a week or two to even get to that area, but this could be the start of it getting there. And we've already started. When I did that video the other day, ADA was 48 cents. Here it is right now, 62 cents, just days later, potentially on its way to make that move to the upside. But those are the targets to the upside. We're going to continue tracking it, but just keep in mind this daily chart. Keep in mind the 20-day moving average, which is below ADA right now. The first step happened, which is what we need, the break above, right? We always talk about that. These breaks above, that's how I started yesterday's video, really, was talking about 6 times it's broken above that 20-day moving average, but it fails to stay above. Here we are. The true test is here. We're in the midst of a hard fork event coming up in less than 30 days. Let's continue tracking it. I appreciate y'all. It's green. ADA's green in the short term. Even if we're going to go lower, which we should anticipate, it's enjoyable. Is it not enjoyable as ADA makes a move? And we're putting in, at the very least right now, a green candle. But let's see. This could turn into more of a bullish move even on the midterm. So let's check it out. Let's track it. I hope you're all doing good out there. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.